Financial Survival Network, helping you survive and thrive in the new economy. Go to KerryLutz.com and sign up for 30 free micro trainings on financial survival.
1490 WGCH. This is Kerry Lutz, and you're listening to the Financial Survival Network, which is brought to you by Miles Franklin. They've been in business selling gold and silver for over 20 years, and I'm a customer because when you buy, they ship. For more information, find them on the web at milesfranklin.com or give them a call at 800-822-8080 and get a free quote. This is Kerry Lutz, and you're listening to the Financial Survival Network. We've had a lot of crash reports over the past 6 months where metals, gold and silver would just take an inexplicable dip, go down $20-30 in a day for no reason. Then I'd have the voice of reason come on and explain it. And the voice of reason, David Morgan of silver-investor.com, is back to explain why gold is up $64 an ounce today. Hey, David. It's great to have you back on again.
Okay, it's good to be back with you. And, why is it up? A lot of buying pressure. That's the real answer. And, of course, why is there so much buying pressure? Could be a lot of things. Most people are looking at the jobs number. A lot of people are looking at the euro, those combination of those two things. I think it could be some short covering. It could be something going on with this these problems with J.P. Morgan on what their losses are, and they might be covering some of their short positions in gold. It could be a lot of things. What we do know is that it's a significant move up, about 4% in gold. We also know that it took off like a rocket ship. And we also know while we're doing the interview, with about an hour and a half left before the close, that it's staying on the high. So whenever a commodity moves up significantly, like a 4% move, which is huge in any market, and then it stays at the high during the rest of the trading session, and we don't know if that's a fact yet or not, but let's say that it is, that is very, very, very bullish. What that means is that everybody that's short is trying to get out before it goes even higher, and people that want in are willing to buy at the high of the day because they think it's going to be going higher the next few days, next few weeks, next few months. So that's about as bullish as it gets. That's how I'm reading it right now. You can make a case for several things causing this drive to take place, but it's really, really welcomed basis what's been going on the last few months in the gold and silver markets.
Hey, and speaking of technical signs here, we burst through 1600 like it wasn't even there, like Charlie Sheen checking out a rehab. And if you look at silver, it's up at this particular moment, and we're talking here on Friday, June 1st, National Donut Day. Silver's at 28.59, at least my latest screen update. And the other thing that's happening, David, and you're probably not aware of this, Kitco's site is crawling right now, and that means there's huge traffic coming over to Kitco, humongous traffic that's slowing it down because they've got a huge infrastructure and they can deal with almost any amount of traffic. But when you see Kitco slow down, that the world's attention is on these markets now.
Oh, that's exactly right. And I just want to comment on, what's been going on just for the last 60 days in gold as an example. So I want to go back a couple of months. We had kind of a high-level consolidation during that time frame around the 1620 to 1660 level. Once we broke through the 1620 level, it quickly pierced through the 1600 level and went down over several trading sessions. And I was looking for the 1550 level to hold. And whenever you make a comment like that or a forecast, whatever, I mean, it is what it is. I'll stand by that. It actually got below the 1550 level, but not by much. So, from my perspective today and being as honest as I can, it looks to me like that was probably the bottom. Hopefully I'm right. And today's move to the upside, especially on big volume like we're having, usually is a pretty good indication that we're going to move on up. I mean, for me to be very confident, I like to use what I call my 3-day rule. And what I like to see is over the next 2 days, confirmation. In other words, 2 strong days further up for both the metals. If that were to occur, then we're really in a good position, meaning that if that happens, you have 3 up days in a row on big volume. then you're about 85% probability that bottom is in and that new trend or the uptrend will continue. So we'll have to wait and see. But very, very interesting to see the gold market up 4% in a day. Very encouraging to the gold bulls. The stocks are reacting well also. And this bull market's far from over as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's, I knew you didn't make it to New York, but understandable. It's a long flight from Spokane, and the New York Hard Assets Conference really is becoming less and less relevant, I think, because New York is the financial center, but it's not. Nobody in New York seems to care about mining stocks. But at the time Eric Sprott gave his presentation, there was, I'd say, about 10% of the seats unoccupied, which is unusual when Eric Sprott speaks. Then Dennis Gartman, he spoke, the place standing room only, and he proclaimed that the bull market in gold was over, in which case, at that point, I should have just gone all in. I'm pretty well in anyway, but I should have just hocked to everything and, taken the wedding ring to the pawn shop and just gone all in. Actually, it is gold, but it's only 18 karat. But that was the indicator to me. When I see people aren't listening to Sprott, who's worth billions, and they're listening to this guy who is a keeper of the status quo and arguably a puppet of the elites, then this thing is bottoming. And the other thing, we had a couple of days, we had some upside reversals in silver and gold. We hadn't seen that in months. And those are powerful indicators when combined with everything else that's going on that really give you an idea that the thing is about to take off. So now, like you say, we're kind of wait and see, might pull back a little bit, or it could go on for weeks this way. I'm thinking it's going to keep going because it's such intense buying pressure there on the paper market. Can you imagine with the physical market, what's going on there?
Well, I haven't had a chance to call into the major retail dealers or wholesalers. I probably couldn't get through, I'm guessing. I think it's probably a very, very busy day. The other thing to look at in this market, I know that this is going to probably go out post market close, but it's still worth noting, and that is most of your professionals will want to be flat. They don't want to carry a position over the weekend. They just don't want the chance of something taking place. However, there's a secondary thought to that, and that is if they meaning the professionals, are concerned about what might happen over the weekend with the euro or with some financial comeuppance that, if there's so many scenarios, we don't have time to go through any of them, and they hold their positions. That, again, is very bullish and the way you can tell is how much the market sells off in gold and silver, particularly gold, near the close. So if you watch the last 15, 20 minutes of trading, and gold droops off, significantly. In other words, in today's move with $64 up, if it's off $6 to $12, I'd say at the close, $6 would be practically nothing. $12 at the close, I'd say, well, a lot of the pros are getting out and going flat over the weekend. But if it stayed right at the high or within, I'd say, 10% of the high, what that would indicate is that a lot of these guys that purportedly know what's going on are either scared or think they know something that makes them want to hold gold long over the weekend. So that's something to bear in mind as well, Kerry.
Yeah, and I think if you see that happen, if you see it close at its high, then you're going to know that Monday, I think the forces that be, the elites, will be lined up trying to nail the price down. But on the other hand, they might very well continue to close those shorts because we talked about short covering where people have sold gold and silver short because they're expecting it to break 1,500. All of a sudden they wake up and they're down $65 on a contract. Margin calls are coming in. And what do you do in that position?
Yeah, almost all the pros never meet a margin call. They just will let the market take them out. And so that's, that's adding to the buying pressure.
Exactly. So I think we're going to see some of that. And right now I'm looking at Kitco 65.70. Haven't seen a day like this since last summer. I was in Panama and gold was hitting 1950 and it was going up like this every day. And then, somebody came to the party, threw cold water on it, and which is normal because what market goes straight up unabated? That's unhealthy, and that will no doubt lead to some blow off top where everybody gets taken out at the top. They just lose it. But here, this is I don't want to call it a healthy market because you can't really call them markets with this level of outside influence healthy, but I say the markets are doing what they're supposed to be doing, right?
Right. That's right.
So on that note, David,
I don't have much comment.
On that note, David, so you're off to Vancouver shortly. Hopefully the mood will be more upbeat and happy than it was in New York at Hard Assets. If we get a few more days of this, it'll be happy golden days are here again, right?
That's right.
All right. Well, hey, thank you for calling in. We will talk to you again soon. Have a great week ahead in Vancouver, and we'll see what happens with this new emerging bull market in the precious metals.
Very good. Thanks so much, Kerry.
All right. You take care, David.